Okay, let's look at how to load assessment on VLE. Our focus for now will be building quiz directly inside VLE. There are various ways you could actually build your quiz in VLE. You can put a link to a particular quiz, just like you have here for pop quiz or for classwork or for assessment, whereby the quiz is actually hosted on, say, Google form or Microsoft form or any other form available. Then you put the link on VLE such that when the link is clicked, then the quiz comes up in another window, or it could be embedded inside VLE, or you could actually build your quiz from scratch in VLE, and that's what we want to show now. How do we build quiz directly from VLE? So if you go to the particular course that you are doing, okay, I'm picking a course now and I'm going to the section, maybe term 2, term 1, term 3. So I'm actually using this session as a practice. So how to for teacher, that is the section. And so I want to start my quiz from scratch. So all you need to do is just to click this button, and it gives you an array of icons to use. So you can click quiz. You can click quiz. When you click quiz, then you do your add, and so it brings another pop-up like this. So basically you can see adding a new quiz to how to for teachers. That is actually where I want the quiz to be. It could be what you have labeled as your term 1, lesson 1, week 1 for term 3. So it's going to put your quiz under that particular term. So all you need to do first is to name the quiz according to the lesson that you want to do. Just name the quiz according to the lesson that you want to do. So I look at an example that I've done, so that it will be easier to edit quickly as we walk along. Okay, so this is what I have. So all I need to do is basically put the title of the quiz. I have pop quiz for lesson 1, week 1. Okay, then you put your description. Take this quiz in 4 minutes. You're telling the student the time allocated. So this is actually where you're going to fix your time. Okay, time limit 4 minutes. You have enabled it. Okay, open the quiz and close the quiz. You can enable that depending on whether you want the student to have access to it, or you want to have a close time for the quiz. Okay, when time expires, open attempts are submitted automatically. Okay, submission grace and so on. So you can go through these settings as you want your quiz to look like. Okay, then you can save and return to course, or you save and display. Okay, you can save and return to course, or you save and display. So it's going to bring out this pop quiz for lesson 1, week 1. That's the title that I put. So the next thing I want to do now is to edit link quiz. So I want to edit the quiz. Okay, so there are various ways in which quiz can be added. Various ways in which quiz can be added. Okay, and so I'm going to be showing the various types of quiz that one could have. Okay, so if I click this particular button, you can see this button here, add. So I'm going to click this particular button, add. You can see what comes out: a new question, or question from bank. But if you don't have a bank set up, so you can just add a new question. So basically I'm clicking this new question. So if I click this new question, you can see the various forms of quiz that one can add on VLE. Okay, so the common one could be multiple choice. It could be selecting missing words. That's an interesting one too. Or it could be short answer, or it could be true or false. That's the common type that we use. You can explore every other type later. Okay, so in this particular example that I have here, I have actually added a quiz here, and this is more like a filling the short answer question. So if you click short answer question to add, then it's going to tell you the category in which it's added. The first thing you have to do is to put your question name. So I'm naming this as question 1 in that particular quiz that I've set up for lesson 1 week 1. This is my first quiz, question 1. So you can do a mix of different types of quiz, multiple choice, fill in the gap, true or false, matchmaking, and so on. So here I'm actually using a short answer question, like a fill in the gap. So I put the question here, question text, type your question here. So type the question. You can make it in paragraph depending on the size that you want. You make it to be bigger. Okay, then you can put the mark that you want that particular question to be, whether 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks, whatever marks you want it to be. Okay, then the answer to that question says, what do students use for writing that can be erased? Okay, they use pencil for writing. Okay, so I have just only one word, answer to that. So I put my answer there as pencil. You can see as pencil. Then I put my feedback. If the student gets it right, it tells the student, well done. So the grade is 100%. To be able to score that 1 mark, the grade here has to be 100%. So after that is done, the next thing to do is to save the changes and continue editing. But you may want to preview your question to see how your quiz will look like. Okay, so let's do a preview. Let's do a preview so that we'll see how the student will see the particular quiz. Okay, so this is the preview. You can see the way the question comes out. Okay, it says, what do students use for writing that can be erased? So if, for example, I type pencil here as my answer, I'm answering this acting like this as the student. Okay, so submit and finish. I'm doing submit and finish here. So I click that. Let's see. So it's telling the student that the student got it right. Okay, well done. The correct answer is what? Is pencil. Okay, and here it says mark 1, out of 1, telling showing the student the mark that the student got that particular question. Okay, so let's go back and see other form of quiz that can be set. Okay, so I want to look at question 2 now. The total mark for this quiz is this 4 marks. I want to look at question 2. Okay, so let's look at another form of quiz that can be set on VLE. This is a true or false question. So question name, you put the question 2. Question text, just what question do you want to ask? I'm asking, I'm a teacher. So my responses will be true or what, or false. Okay, so the first the response here, correct answer, should be true. So if it is false, then you put this false there. But since I'm a teacher, I'm putting true as my correct response. So if the student gets it wrong, I'm putting a feedback there, well done. Feedback, if the student decide to choose false, then I'm putting try again. That is if I have set the quiz for students to have more than 1 attempt in solving the quiz. So the moment that is done, then you can click save changes and continue editing, or you choose the save changes here. So let's preview this particular style too, okay, and see what the student will get out of this particular question. Okay, so I'm filling that, and let's see. Okay, the correct answer is true, so I need to check here. Okay, so correct answer is true. Okay, so I'm putting true, which is correct answer, but in this case let me choose false, and let's see what it will give the student in kind of response. So it's telling the student that the answer the student chose is wrong, false, or the correct answer is true. Okay, so we can close preview, closing the preview. So I want to go back to editing the same quiz, so I can save. Remember to always save your work. Okay, save, Now let's look at another form of quiz that can be, added. I'm choosing this one. That is my question 3. I name it as question what? Question 3. And this is a filling the gap. Filling the gap. Okay. It's name the question 3. Buhari, the dash of dash is proactive. So you actually do not need to put this dash there. Okay, this program actually recognizes this kind of string. So let me separate it so that you'll be able to see it. So in order to put in the words that the student will fill in, you have to put it in double bracket like this. Okay, you have a square bracket, you have another bracket. Put the first words that you are omitting there. Then, so in this case now I want to say Buhari, the president of Nigeria, is proactive. So the second one, you can see, is very important. If you don't put this, it will not recognize it. So that string is very key. The fourth mark is 1. So I'm putting the choice answer for the first choice is president. Okay, president. Answer for the second choice is Nigeria. Okay, I'm putting it there. So all you need to do is to save. Okay, you can explore every other so I want to put this 0. The student can actually can try the question only once. Okay, so save changes. Yeah, save changes, it goes there, but we have not previewed this particular question. So let's do a preview of that particular question and let's see what comes up. Okay, previewing this, you can see the way it came up. Okay, Buhari, the dash, so president of Nigeria, is proactive. So let's see what it will give us. President of Nigeria is proactive. So the two correct. So the student score 1 mark because that's the mark attached to that. You can close preview. Okay, so let's go to maybe one more type of quiz that can be done, and that's multiple choice. Putting multiple choice quiz. So for multiple choice quiz, there are 2 options that we can explore, especially for those who take IGCSE and you want to get some questions have diagrams. I want to insert them, especially in the sciences, mathematics, and the like. You want to insert the diagram into that, so you may need to work in form of image, but I will talk on that in few minutes. So let's say you just want to type multiple choice question. So you put your question here. Green Springs has how many secondary school campuses? So I put the question here, then I scroll down to where my options are: choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. So I put my choices there. But in order for the student to be able to see the choices where aligned, so you have to choose this. If I have question 1, I want to have A, B, C, D, like the usual A, B, C, D. So I'm going to choose this out of this number of choices I have. So for my first choice, it's going to appear as A. I put 4 there. Okay, then the grade is none because that will be a wrong answer. Okay, so I put the grade none. For my second choice, I put 2, which is going to appear as B, and I put 2 there. So the grade here is 100%. You choose 100% because that is going to be absolutely correct, and it's going to score the whole 1 mark attached to that. So it continues like that. Grade 3, 1, and choice 4, 5, and the grade attached is none because they are wrong wrong answer. So basically you just go ahead and save the changes, but let's preview and see how that will look like, how the student will see it. So you can see here how the student will see the question. Green Springs has how many campuses? So I want to choose 2 and submit, and let's see how it comes. I mistakenly chose 4. Okay, 4. So the correct answer should be 2. Okay, so you can close the preview. So that's basically how to set question. if you are building your question from scratch in VLE. That's basically how to go about that. So if you are previewing the question all together, I'm doing a total preview of all the 4 questions that I have. So it's a pop quiz for lesson 1, week 1. Take this quiz in 4 minutes, timed quiz. Okay, so the student starts, the quiz, and it actually starts timing. So it goes from the first page to the next page to the next page, and it keeps moving on and on. 2 and 3, I said this in such that it will be in the same page. Okay, then the next page 2, and which is the last question there. The student can finish the attempt. Okay, because I didn't choose anything, so you put in there not yet answered, not yet answered, not yet answer. Okay, so okay, now but let's assume that I want to put a question that involves diagram. How will I go about that? So you can just choose your new quiz, maybe multiple choice, and I want to actually insert diagram into that particular quiz. So here I'm going to title my question 5. So I actually want to insert my question. So you need to convert your question first into image, and it's very simple to do. Whatever question you have, you can convert it into the image form. Let's assume that this is a question. Okay, you can do your screen shorting, so you can use your snipping tool as an example. Take your snipping tool. Okay, for those who don't know how to use snipping tool, it's very simple. Take your snipping tool and choose the rectangle. Okay, then you can just screenshot any question that you have like this. I'm just do a screenshot like that. You've done the screenshot. So the next thing to do after the screenshot is for you to actually go ahead and save your screenshots. Go and save it somewhere as picture, which you can now insert later. That's as straightforward and as simple as it can be. Okay, so let's go back to this. So let's assume that I have a questions that I've screenshot and that I've saved, and I want to add it here as image. So all I need to do is to just click, okay, and find or upload image. I want to find or upload my image now. So save it into a particular folder. These are examples of screenshots that I make use of. So I'm clicking this particular question there, and I'm titling it question 5. So I just upload straight. Okay, then the next thing is to just insert there. Okay, so you can see my question is inserted directly. Okay, but this particular question does not have image, but let me show questions that have image. Okay, so that it will be a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm uploading this. I'm naming it as quiz 5. Okay, uploading. It's just very simple. I'm overwriting that, of course. Okay, good. So see, the question is there with the respective image. So all I need to do is to go ahead and choose my correct answer or responses. So in this case now, so I'm still choosing A, B, C, D, but you will find out instead of writing out ammonia, sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, sulfuric acid as the correct answers here, writing it at the essence of screenshotting is to make your work very fast. You can actually come here under A and put your A, go to the next one and put your B, go to the next one, make sure you're putting it in the right place, go to the choice 3 and put your C, choice 4 and actually put your D. So how do you choose the right question? The right question is the one that will have 100%. Okay, so I've chosen that, and that's all. So I can save changes and continue my editing. So let's preview and see how that will look like, or how the student will we'll see that. Okay, so let's preview. I'm previewing this. Now you can see, beautiful, it came out beautifully done. Okay, so that's the quiz. Okay, that's the quiz. It just, came out that way, and the student will see the option and they will actually choose the right option. If A is the right option, I choose that, I submit, and it's actually telling the student that the student is what? The student is correct. So putting question in VLE and loading it from scratch is as simple as that. Just explore and keep exploring until you get used to that. Okay, thank you.